sea. Just make it stronger, we breathe it in together. We'll hold you up with grace. We know that love lives here in you and me. Love lives here. My soul breaks free. I'm so excited to be united with you. Where love lives here. Where love lives here. When life gets you down, you can't see the future. It all seems too much for you to handle. There are many here who gather together. Oh, unconditionally, we pray together, and the hurt that you feel will be set free. We breathe it in together. We'll hold you up with grace. You know that love lives here in you and me. Love lives here. My soul breaks free. We're so excited to be united with you. Where love lives here. Where love lives here. I'm gonna let you sing. You have a mask on. Love lives here in you and me. Love lives here. My soul breaks free. We're so excited to be united with you. Where love lives, where love lives, where love lives here. Good morning.
Woo-hoo. Miahuen, Neto Reverend Jeffrey Ryan. We here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living acknowledge that we gather on the ancestral lands of the Cahuilla, the Gabrielino Tongva, Kizh, and Luiseno peoples. We commit to living in right relations, to love our neighbors, to seek justice and loving kindness, and to walk humbly upon this land. We recognize our oneness so that we may decolonize our minds and set each other free from the pain of racism and violence, to live better as God, as Spirit intended, in harmony with nature and with one another. So good morning, my beloveds. Oh, there we go. Hi, great to see everybody. I am Reverend Jeffrey Ryan, and it is my distinct honor and pleasure to serve this beloved community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, where love lives here. Yes, absolutely. So let's see who all is joining us. It's great to see all of your faces here in the sanctuary, and who all is joining us online, our online community. Good morning to Mike and Jeannie and Moval. Good morning to Shawnee and Marilyn. They're up at Green Valley Lake enjoying the cooler temperatures. Don't we all wish we were enjoying the cooler temperatures? Mom and Dad, they're visiting friends in Arizona. Good morning to Pat. Good morning to Letty. Manny, good morning. Your mom's here. You're not, but all right. Good morning, Constance. Great to see you. Aloha kaka hiaka. Actually, aloha awinala to Casey. She is at the CSL Detroit Retreat Center for a few weeks. And aloha kaka hiaka to Wayne, who is at home in Hawaii. So there we go. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, John and Lupe Marie. Good morning, Alan. Great to see you. Alan's joining us from Winnipeg this morning. And good morning to Dinah and Mom and Bob in Idaho. So there we go. We're kind of all over the globe today. This is awesome. Great to see everybody joining us online and everybody joining us here. So this is the month of September. Yay.
Woohoo.
Already September. So fall hopefully. Hopefully soon. So we are into the month of September, which means we have a new theme for the month, which is reaching higher, but we'll get to that a little bit later. And because it is the first Sunday of the month, anybody who is celebrating a birthday this month, I invite you to go ahead and stand or place it in there online. Hey, there we go. Wonderful. All right, so Jabel and Jeff, you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, all of you. September people. Happy birthday to you.
Yay. Oh, And there's Frank. He's running in. Yep, he heard that birthday song. All right, there we go. And if you're celebrating an anniversary in the month of September, we invite you to stand so we can acknowledge you too. No September anniversaries? Okay, well, that works too. We know that love happens all the time. And happy birthday to Mike there online, Mike Kataoka, and to Letty's daughter, Elizabeth. So there we go. And of course, Wayne. And oh yes, Wayne and Casey are celebrating their anniversary on September 1st. So 31 years for Wayne and Casey. So congratulations to you, Wayne and Casey. All right. Are we ready? New month, new songs. I invite you to stand up. Let's get some moving and grooving going on. Don't forget to silence those cell phones, but here we go with a little moving and grooving with Spirit is in this place. Here we go.
We have come together as family. We have come here as we are. Oh, we have come with arms wide open. We have come here in love. Oh, here we go. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Sing with me if you know it. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof and with skirts of grace, Spirit's in this place. We sing and celebration. We sing with words of prayer. Oh, we affirm our life as sacred. We declare that peace is here. Yeah, here we go. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise, Spirit's in this place. All right, we're all gonna sing. I know you can do it. Ready? Here we go. Together. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise, Spirit's in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise, Spirit's in this place. All right.
Woo. Marty and Vicky said they're at home singing along and dancing along in their PJs. So there you go. Maybe with a little bit of coffee too. So here we go.
Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour your love in me, pour your love into my heart. Oh, Wonderful Spirit, pour your love in me, pour your love into my heart. Oh, oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, oh, wonderful Spirit.
Morning. I'm Anita Nace, one of your spiritual practitioners here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome. I and Ed Ryan, practitioner Ed Ryan, will be available after service for a brief moment of prayer in the prayer room located in the lobby. Please don't leave here this morning with anything on your heart. We would love to pray with you and absolutely know prayer works. Please join me in consciousness now, turning inward, finding that sacred still point at the center and core of our being, where I recognize that Spirit, God, resides and abides, that Spirit lies in smiling repose within me. It is the absolute, enduring, unconditional love that creates all life, all things, seen and unseen, out of itself. It is perfect peace and harmony, infinite wisdom and joy, unspeakable joy. It's wholeness, whole, complete, and perfect life. And as we dwell within our hearts and touch into our souls, going deeper, we hear the whisperings of Spirit, that sweet song of the universe that lets us know we are one with the divine, inseparably one, and therefore one with each other, and one with every attribute of the divine. And it's in this awareness that we go deeper yet and feel the impulse within us to grow and expand, cultivate our consciousness even more, so that we recognize and realize our own perfect divinity. And in that moment, we realize our life is enriched and enhanced, for we are uplifted and inspired by Spirit within to make perfect right choices and decisions that serve our highest and best good, and therefore the highest and best good of all concerned, for we are truly one with each other and all that is. So it's in this awareness that I bless this morning's celebration of life service. I bless everyone here present and everyone within the sound of my voice. We are open and receptive to truth that opens our hearts even more to the growth that Spirit has in store for us. I bless everyone behind the scenes making this service possible, our music ministry that makes us know the music of the spheres is no illusion. And I bless Reverend Jeffrey as he brings his message from the meditations of his heart to us this morning. And we are uplifted, inspired, and healed today. And together we affirm, and so it is.
Some dreams live on in time forever. Those dreams you want with all your heart, and I'll do whatever it takes. Follow through with the promise I made. Put it all on the line. What I hope for at last would be mine. If I could reach higher, just for one moment touch the sky. From that one moment in my life, I'm gonna be stronger. Know that I tried my very best. I put my spirit to the test. If I could reach some days are meant to be remembered. Those days we rise above the stars. So I'll go the distance this time, seeing more the higher I climb. That the more I believe, all the more that this dream will be mine. If I could reach higher, just for one moment touch the sky. For that one moment in my life, I'm gonna be stronger. Know that I tried my very best. I put my spirit to the test. If I could if I could reach higher, just for one moment touch the sky. From that one moment in my life, I'm gonna be stronger. Know that I tried my very best. I put my spirit to the test. If I could reach higher, just for that moment touch the sky. For that moment in my life, I'm gonna be stronger. Now that I've tried my very best, I put my spirit to the test. If I could reach, if I could reach, if I could reach.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jabel. Appreciate that. Always great to have you here and sharing the gift of your music and the gift of you with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let's say our focus statement together, shall we? First, I want you to breathe it in And I want you to lift your voice higher this morning. How's that? Because we're on a theme of reach higher. So here we go. Ready? We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Yes, Elizabeth, I heard you. Awesome. Thank you. Woo! Yes, we embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. That is what we are here about here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, and it is great to have all of you joining us this morning at home and online, just checking to see if there's anybody else that popped in while we were singing and praying and all that good kind of stuff. All right, I don't see any new folks, so maybe they're out there, but they haven't said anything online, so we'll just know that they are joining us and they are with us this morning. Good morning, Dorcel. Hey, how are you? All right, good. All right. So here at Centers for Spiritual Living Worldwide, this year we are working with the theme of Timeless Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision. Timeless Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision. Because at Centers for Spiritual Living, what we work with is we work with the wisdom traditions of the world. We don't just focus on one particular wisdom tradition. We recognize the value, the inherent worth in all of the world's great wisdom traditions. And so we know that that wisdom is timeless, that wisdom is infinite, that wisdom crosses cultural borders, it crosses theological borders. There is this wisdom that is at the root of everything. And it is a wisdom of oneness, it is a wisdom of love, it is a wisdom of wholeness that continues to express itself. And it continues to express itself how? In an evolutionary way. By continuing to open to a greater idea, by continuing to expand upon itself, by continuing to express itself in an evolutionary vision. So that's what we're working with this whole year, this timeless wisdom expressing and fulfilling itself as an evolutionary vision or through an evolutionary vision. That the vision continues to expand and unfold, that life itself is forever expanding and forever expressing. So this month here at Centers for Spiritual Living Worldwide, our topic, our theme for the month that supports the larger theme is reaching higher. Reaching higher. Last month, we took a pause, right? We took a pause for spiritual guidance. And so we sat back and we just really had the opportunity to be present with, to take a pause and to be present with Spirit, to be open and available to listen to the guidance of Spirit, rather than always trying to figure out a way or making things happen or trying to fit a round peg into a square hole or a square peg into a round hole, whatever rather than trying and efforting, right? We talked about being open to the vision. We talked about spiritual discernment. Reverend Victoria, thank you so much for speaking a couple weeks ago. Talked about the guidance positioning system, your God positioning system of recentering in spirit. And last week, Dr. Naima spoke about rise and emerge. And she shared with us her personal story of her own rising and emerging into something new. So now this month, we are talking about reaching higher. We have kind of, along this spiritual journey that we've been on this month, we took a pause last month, kind of like that roadside pause if you're on a road trip, and you just you stop at a rest stop, or you just kind of take a pause and look at the map and kind of reorient yourself to see where you've been so far and where it is that you might be headed. And you might even, heaven forbid, ask for directions, right? To move to where you might want to be or where you might want to be headed. And so if we think of this journey, then we think that we can see that we're now starting in September. It's kind of that time of year where, Riverside's been back in school already for a month, but where, school is starting again, things are starting anew, we're starting to harvest that which we've planted earlier in the year. And so we're entering into this time of change. We're entering into yet another time of newness where we have the opportunity to reach higher. the opportunity to do something different or to show up in a new way. Yes? Thank you. Wow. Yay. You're there. Hi. Yes. So Ed and I were on vacation last week, or 2 weeks ago now at this point, right? And so I made a pact, I made a deal with myself, I made a commitment to myself that the minute the plane landed in Baltimore, that was it. No communication, no thinking about, no ruminating about work or anything. Woohoo! And I made that commitment to Ed too, that while we are back in Delaware visiting his family, our family, while we're back in Delaware, not opening the computer, not responding to email, not responding to phone calls. And you know what? There was very little email and there were no phone calls. It was awesome, right? I know. You know, the universe heard that I had set this intention of unplugging. And everybody, my beloveds, you helped me and you supported me in unplugging. And I want to thank all of you for that. And I want to thank Reverend Victoria and Dr. Naima for stepping into that space. And thank Neil for hosting last week and stepping into that space to allow Ed and I that time of just that spaciousness where we could recharge and then come back and be ready to reach higher. But one of the things that I noticed when we were on vacation is Ed and I don't have our TV on like on normal stations very often. We have a tendency to watch things on all the subscription channels, you know, like Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime and that, where we're addicted to one day at a time. That was our binge pleasure while we were gone. But Mom and Papa Joe have the TV on a lot. And so what I noticed was that there are a lot of things that have been happening in the world. Not that I haven't been paying attention, but it just seemed like in that week where there was the spaciousness, that I had the spaciousness, it was also the week that like all kinds of craziness was being like shown on TV and made aware of on TV. Does it seem like it was like crazy the past 2 or 3 weeks? I don't know. Like all of a sudden it's like, whoa, right? It seems like there was like flooding of this craziness that was happening. And so I was like looking at it, and even this morning I was like, you ever have one of those days where you just say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is happening? I'll let that sink in for a minute. Wednesday, W. Thursday, T. Friday, F. Is happening. And noticing that, you know, Texas and what they're doing in Texas, or what they did, the law that they passed, restricting women's health care. Hurricane Ida coming in at a Cat 4 in New Orleans, they're still without power, and then moving all the way up into the Northeast, killing 25 in New Jersey and 13 in New York, and all of the flooding that has been going on, and the flooding that happened in Tennessee while we were away as well, right? The fires in 14 states, the smoke that can be seen all the way across North America, the recall election that's going on, Afghanistan, and the tragedy that we're seeing in Afghanistan, and then COVID, and our kids going back to school, and this continued silly, ridiculous debate about masks and vaccines and children in hospitals now, and the Delta variant, and then watching and reading the PE and seeing the craziness of sports fans in Temecula and sports fans in Hemet chanting racial slurs against the sports teams from Moreno Valley. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, people. And notice how we feel. Notice how it makes us feel when we see these things or when we experience these things. Notice what you're feeling when I gave you that list. How are you feeling in the moment? Just notice what you're feeling. Too often, I think we have a tendency to want to go straight to, all right, I'm feeling not so hot, so let me feel better, right? Or let me numb it so that I don't have to experience it, or let me try to jump to a happy thought. Let me think happy thoughts. Let me think good thoughts. Let me try and jump to something that is more positive. And while we do know that changing our thinking changes our life, it's beyond changing our thinking. We have to change our beliefs about what we're thinking. We also have to change our behaviors of how we're showing up. That's where the real transformation, that's where the real power of love, the transformative power of love comes in, is changing the beliefs and changing the behaviors, not just giving spiritual platitudes of, it's all good. There's a pony in here somewhere. Okay. So what we're called to do then, one way that we are called to rise above, one of the ways that we are called to reach higher, is to recognize that our experiences or what we are seeing in life or what we are thinking about life, what we are thinking mentally about life, to realize that those thoughts are not us. That we are not our thoughts. If we're not our thoughts, then what are we? What are we? We are that consciousness, that awareness that is able to view our thoughts, that's able to observe our thoughts. Thoughts come and go. Feelings come and go. If you don't have a thought in your head, do you cease being you? No. It is the consciousness that is able to observe the thoughts is who we really are. And that consciousness is universal. It's individualized as each and every one of us, but consciousness itself is the ground of all being. It is the totality. It is the allness and the fullness and the isness. It is the isness that each one of us is. So in order to reach higher, we have the opportunity to reach higher to that state of consciousness and remember who we are, to reach that state of consciousness where we are able to observe. And in order to do that, we have to go deeper. In order to reach higher, we get to go deeper in recognizing the love that is present as who we are. So going higher also means going deeper. Reaching higher means reaching deeper. And it is that love that we are in the center of our being that is that transformative power that transforms, that transmutes, that changes that which we see, that which we experience, and that which we think about. But the access point is reaching higher to that higher consciousness that we are, to the observer that we are. So, going back to what you were feeling or what you may be feeling in the moment, any given moment. Rather than identifying with the feeling, rather than identifying with the thought, what if we shifted and we observed what it is that we're thinking. We observed what it is that we're feeling. So rather than saying, oh, I'm tired, oh, I'm overwhelmed, oh, I'm so angry, rather than putting the I am in front of it and identifying with the feeling, identifying with the thought, what if we switch it and we go higher, we reach higher to that consciousness and we look at it, it's like, I'm experiencing anger. The feeling of fear is present. I'm walking with sadness right now. Notice how that shifts. Notice how that shifts the feeling into being aware of it. And it creates a spaciousness that then creates a curiosity, that then creates this opportunity to be present with what is and to relate to it rather than relating from it. And when we can relate to what we're feeling rather than relating from what we're feeling, when we relate to it, we enter into a relationship. And then we recognize that there's the spaciousness that then allows what it is that we're feeling, what it is that we are thinking, to transform, to transmute, to change, to pass. We then come to realize that what it is that we are thinking or what it is that we are feeling is temporary. It is temporary. Just like the weather, just like this heat that we're experiencing is temporary, right? In a couple weeks, the windows will be open again. Rather than trying to force change upon it, rather than trying to make something happen, rather than relating from that feeling, we relate to that feeling. We create the spaciousness that allows spirit then, that allows the higher consciousness, that allows our higher self to enter and to guide and to change and to transform. And how much easier is it being in this flow than being in constant resistance? Yeah? So this reaching higher, as we are encountering and going through our lives, as we are encountering and experiencing life, as we are having our experiences, as we are having our feelings, if we can just stick our head up out of the swimming pool, just poke our head above the water and take a breath and take a look around and observe. Say, I'm swimming in the swimming pool. The swimming pool looks kind of dirty. Do I want to be swimming in the swimming pool? Maybe I should get out of the swimming pool. Maybe we need to treat the swimming pool. Maybe I should help others get out of the swimming pool too. See how that works? But as long as we're swimming in the swimming pool, as long as we're swimming in the muck and the mire, we're not rising above, we're not reaching higher, we're not lifting our head out of it, we can never escape it. And then we just contribute to it. So this month, as we continue to move forward, as we continue to experience and express, I invite us to take that pause, to breathe a moment, to reframe a moment, to reach higher to our higher selves, to that higher consciousness, and allow it to observe what we're experiencing and relate from it, or relate from it rather than relating from the condition. And we relate to what we're experiencing rather than relating from what we're experiencing and getting caught. Sound like a good idea? Willing to try it this week? Try it this week. Try it for a week. See what happens. Anytime you notice yourself this week blaming, shaming, judging, complaining, yelling, screaming, crying, celebrating, having a great time, partying like a rock star. Every time you experience something, just give yourself a moment when you are aware that you are feeling something, anything, give yourself that space and go, what's really happening here? Oh, I'm having an experience of joy. Oh, I am feeling sad. Oh, I'm walking with anger in the moment. And just let it be and see what happens. I invite you to experiment. This year and next year, especially, we are talking a lot about practical spirituality. Meaning that if we don't practice, what happens? Nothing changes, right? So I invite you to practice. Practice this week. Practice it. Okay? Got it? Thumbs up. That way, next week, we don't come back and go, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is happening now. All right? All right, let's come together in consciousness. I invite our practitioners to please stand and surround the sanctuary. I invite our core council members to join them as well as we move to prayer today. There we go. Distributing it out a little bit. All right. So I invite everybody to take a nice deep breath and let's come together, shall we? Right here and right now, I recognize that there is just one power, one presence, one infinite, eternal that is forever expressing itself through itself as itself. It is forever calling itself forward, calling itself higher, because there is only this one life. There is only this one power. There is only this one presence. It is all, through all, as all. It is the totality of being. There is not a spot. There is no thing that is not the divine made manifest, because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Spirit, and the Word was Spirit, and that which Spirit did not create was never ever created. So I know that all of life, all of creation is Spirit made manifest. The universe is the manifest body of the divine itself. There is no thing, no other one, no other power that could ever be opposed to it or stand against it, because there is simply only the one. And so this one manifests and expresses itself in, through, and as me, and in, through, and as everyone gathered here this day, both online and in this sanctuary, and with everyone who ever sees this, and with all of life and all of creation. We are one with one another. We are sisters, brothers, and siblings in the one love and the one life. Each of us is a divine expression, a divine manifestation, a divine impartation of the one life. And so we are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in this form that we call humanity. And so I speak my word here and now for all of us, for this beloved community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. I know the essence of who we are. Who we are is the isness and the allness and the fullness. Who we are is consciousness. Consciousness expressing. And so I know that this consciousness that we are transcends any apparent discord, transcends any apparent disharmony, transcends any apparent disease. transcends any apparent discomfort. Because there is only the harmony, there is only the wisdom, there is only the divine order, there is only the divine perfection. And when we bring ourselves to this awareness, when we bring our consciousness to this awareness, when we allow consciousness to fully inhabit and fully express through and as us, then any apparent discord falls away back into the nothingness from which it came, because there is no spiritual law to maintain or sustain or support it. The universe is happening for our good. We are experiencing good all the time when we open and allow and and avail ourselves of the awareness of this consciousness. And so the conditions of our lives are nothing more than temporary. But it is our consciousness that is our love. It is the who of who we are that is eternal. And so it is there that we focus our attention. It is there that we observe. It is from this high place, reaching higher. It is from this high place of knowing, this high place of consciousness, that we see that all ultimately truly is well. And we allow this consciousness to be our guide. We allow this consciousness to have full sway. And so I give thanks for this realization here and now. I say, use me. And I release this word into the law, knowing it is done, knowing that it is so. We let it be. And together we affirm, and so it is.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, God's so much more than the earth and the stars of all creation. God is creation, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. as me, as you so use me. Oh God, I stand before you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Thank you. So I want to thank everyone for their continued conscious contributions to this beloved community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. The way you can make your conscious contributions to this beloved community and support the great work that we do in the world and the great work that Centers for Spiritual Living as a whole does in the world is through your conscious contribution. The easiest way is via text to give. Simply pull out your cell phone and text 951-419-5858. Type in the amount you are choosing to contribute and hit send. It's that easy. It is just like texting a friend, because what are you doing? You are texting a friend. You're texting your friends here at this beloved community. And you could also go on to our website at riversidecsl.org, and in the upper right-hand corner, you will see the word contribute, and you can choose to contribute there. Don't forget that we do have our 2 or more fund that is available for contributions as well. And the 2 or more fund goes to supporting the building and supporting the grounds and doing the maintenance and the upkeep. So that is in addition to or above and beyond your regular conscious contribution, but you can do that the same way on via text. You simply type in the word more after the amount you're choosing to contribute, and that goes straight to that fund. Go online as well. For those of you here in the sanctuary that would prefer to contribute in person, at the very back of the sanctuary, right behind Dorsell, you will see a mirrored vessel there, and you can place your contributions there. So what do we know here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living? We know that God is our source, God is our supply, that it is infinite, that it is ever flowing, that we are richly blessed. We are dripping in joy, dripping in love, dripping in peace, that we drip in this, but God is the source and supply, right? Not our job, not our trust fund. Yeah, just like, I don't know anybody with a trust fund. Yeah, neither do I. Okay, so at any rate, that's not our source and supply. God is our source and supply. So let us go ahead and sing about that, shall we?
God is our source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me source. God gives my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
So next week, let's funk it up.
Okay, I have a band. And
Yeah.
I promise.
No, it's good.
Okay.
It's like, today it's more of like it's more of a groove today. Right? But next week it's just like, right? That's the beauty about music, right? It's just like, it's just so fluid and flexible. It's like, God, it's not so, right? Love it, love it, love it. All right, so A few announcements to share with you. Hold on. A few announcements to share with you today before we close out. And the first one is coming up this Thursday. This Tuesday. For those of you who have taken the connection practice with Jeannie and with Susie, there is a connection practice online on the usual link, the usual Zoom link that you used for connection practice. So please join them online for your connection practice. It's a drop-in session for those of you who have done that. Coming up in 2 weeks, we have 2 classes starting. The first one is on Tuesday. That is Essential Earnest, and that is with Neil Hayner. And so that is learning more about Ernest Holmes and our declaration of principles here at Centers for Spiritual Living. It goes through those declaration of principles and uses Ernest Holmes' writings and teachings to explain more about the declaration of principles, what it is that we really believe here at Centers for Spiritual Living, what it is that we teach, and what it is that we really practice, because we practice. We don't just sit and contemplate and meditate and ruminate and cogitate, right? We practice. That's the whole idea, is that this is a science. So we practice practical application, experimentation. That's the only way we know that everything works, is through practice. So spiritual practice happens in that class. And there's a beautiful meditation that is a expanding meditation. You start with one part, and then it continues to build on itself over the course of the 10 weeks. So that's the first class. That is Essential Ernest Holmes. The second class is Spiritual Principles and Practices, and that's a 5-week class that practitioner Dinah Williams will be teaching, and that really gives you some of the nuts and bolts, and really gives you some of the basics of what we teach here at Centers for Spiritual Living through our spiritual principles and our spiritual practices. Both classes are really great. Both classes are really awesome. And the Spiritual Principles and Practices class, not one person in this room has ever taken it. You know how I know? Because it's a brand new class. I haven't even taken it. So there's no excuse to say, oh, I already took that class. No, you haven't. Right? So those 2 classes are coming up. So I invite you to please go to the website, riversidecsl.org, to learn more about the classes and to register for classes. And then in October, there will be another class that Shawnee will be teaching around spiritual economics and abundance and prosperity, and really shifting our consciousness as we move forward around those ideas and those areas too. And that'll be starting in October. So something to keep your eye out for that too, right? Because if it's all good and it's all God and it's all energy, then that aspect of our life too, God is present right there too. So we can talk about it, and it's not crazy, it's not scary, it's not, why are they talking about money in church? Right? It's all God. That's what we believe, that's what we know. That's what we affirm. It's all the spirit of energy, or the energy of spirit moving. Yes? All right, hallelujah. Okay, so I think, yeah. What? Oh, yes, my apologies, yes. Animal Memorial Service is this coming Saturday, yes, at 2 o'clock. So that'll be online too. You can go to our website there, and there's a direct link to the Animal Memorial Service. So Jeannie Kataoka, our animal chaplain, will be officiating that. That will be on Zoom as well. So if you have experienced the loss of an animal or experienced the loss of a pet, we invite you, and it's still kind of weighing heavy on your heart, even if it wasn't this year, even if it's years ago, and that's still present with you, I invite you to attend the Animal Memorial Chapel. I just realized that on Friday was the 6-year anniversary of the passing of our beloved greyhound, Rowan. And so I was like, oh, yeah, it's still a little tender, when this anniversary comes around. So this is a perfect opportunity to participate in a service that supports you in loving your support animals who have gone to the Rainbow Bridge. Anything else? Did I get everything now? All right, perfect. So I invite you to stand for a moment and repeat after me. And Jabel and Jeff have a new song for us as well. And then we'll close out with yet another new song, or another song that we are familiar with. But let's repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it. I share it. And I receive it. And I move love forward. Because love lives here. Let's hear this catchy song. Here we go.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It's this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it, share it, receive it. And I move it forward because love lives here. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It's this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it, share it, receive it. And I move it forward because love lives here.
You know the words. Go ahead and sing along with them.
Love lives here.
Hey, new song. All right, you guys all know this one. We have to do it together. Gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. I'm gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. You guys got it? Here we go. I'm gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. I'm gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. You guys come on, ready? We're gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. I'm gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. Next week we'll have a country band and you all have to sing. Love